Ladies and gentlemen, Alex's and Steve's, this is ChollayMurphay, and welcome to episode 1 of my pre-PSVR hardcore survival guide. I know a lot of people are going to be coming to Minecraft for the first time because of PSVR, and so this is kind of a primer to get you ready for how to basically start a survival game of Minecraft. Some do's and don'ts, some tips, and some things to help you get started early in the game, and then a little bit later on into the game. Now here we're at my home screen. We've got my little avatar down there to the right. Right now I have something on. It is a texture pack called Pure BD Craft. That's one of the things you can purchase through the store is texture packs and stuff like that. Things that change the look of the game. Now, this only changes the game cosmetically. So mine, when you start playing Minecraft, yours is probably going to look different. It's going to look like the regular Minecraft. But I promise you, me having this pack on doesn't change anything about how your game is going to function. It'll function exactly the same as the game that I'm playing now. It's just mine is going to look a little bit different. So we're going to go ahead and create a new world. We'll click on Create New. And then over here to the right, we have some options. First thing we're going to do is input a world name. And so this is going to be our hardcore survival world. We've got it on survival. I'm going to turn the difficulty to hard. It makes you take more damage. You get hungry faster and things like that. Just because I want I like the challenge. But starting off, you might want to either play on easy or normal, depending on what kind of challenge you want. Especially if it's your first time, I would play on either easy or normal. Here we're changing the simulation distance to 10 chunks. I could explain that, but there's really no reason to worry about that stuff when you're getting started. All right, now here is the resource packs. This is what I have applied the BD Craft. See, there's a bunch of different ones that you can purchase, and it just changes the cosmetic look of the game. Some of the mashup packs that you get can actually give you entire worlds to play in, like the Steven Universe pack there actually gives you a whole pre-created Steven Universe place to play in. It's a recreation of the little island town that he lives on or whatever, but there's a bunch of cool ones like that. It's something you might want to look into in the future, but it's absolutely not necessary for the enjoyment of the game. Vanilla Minecraft on its own is fantastic. So we've created our world, and we're waiting for it to generate now. Alright, we've popped into the world. First thing we're going to do is pull the left trigger to pull up our map. We'll take a look at that. That'll show us an idea of where we're at. We'll hit the right shoulder button. The shoulder buttons switch to your pockets, and these are the items you have on hand at use for any time. Here we have our experience bar. We'll worry about that later. Top left here is our health, and over here on the right is the hunger meter. Now the hunger meter comes into play as you do things. You get hungry. As long as that meter's full, you'll regenerate health. Once it gets down lower, you won't regenerate health, and eventually you'll get to where you'll starve to death. Now the first thing we're going to do is go over to this tree, and we're going to I hopped on top of it because I like to burrow through the trees. But basically we're going to pull the right trigger to punch this wood, and that is going to break it, and we're going to be able to collect these wood blocks. Wood is an essential item that you need to get. It is an essential resource. It's something that you're going to use a whole lot. Now, as far as recipes go, I do most of my recipes manually. If you'll see before I switched there's a recipe thing on the left-hand side. So you never really have to worry about knowing recipes when you first get started. That's something, I've just played for a long time, so I know most of the recipes by heart. So what we're doing here is I have taken the wood that we had and split it into planks. And now I took those planks and made them into some sticks, and now I've taken 4 sets of planks and built myself a crafting table. A crafting table is going to allow you to make more complex recipes and things like that. Now with our map, you can also put that there, and that'll put that in your offhand so that you can keep it visible while you walk around. To me, it takes up a little bit too much real estate on the screen, so I like to just pull it out when I want to look at it, and otherwise keep it off the screen. But what we're going to do is lay our crafting table down by pulling the left trigger, and while it's on our hand, and you see there, that was the crafting menu I was telling you about. So you can just search by name for the things you're looking for, or you can just go through and look at all the different things, and they have descriptions and things like that for them. But the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to create a pickaxe, a wooden pickaxe, by putting 2 sticks down the center, and then 3 wooden planks across the top in a T shape, and that gives me a wooden pickaxe. Now that's the only thing I'm going to create out of wood, because we're going to make better versions of the tools out of stone here in just a few minutes. So really the only thing you need to do is just make a wooden pickaxe to get started with. Then you're going to search and try, oh, nice little baby horse there. We're going to walk past these animals and stuff. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and take out this sheep real quick, and I'll explain why here in just a minute. If you look down in our menu, now you'll see I have a block of white wool, and I also have a piece of lamb. And that is going to be something we can cook and eat later, but like I said, we'll get to that when we come to it. I'm just going to swim over here, and we have a mountain here with exposed stone, so what I'm going to do is chop some of this stone down, and we are going to use this to make a furnace to cook things with, and we're also going to use it to make some improved tools and weapons and things like that. Let's see, we'll step down in here. Uh-oh, we've already got a skeleton. It's a little bit early in our playthrough to be picking a fight or engaging in a fight with anything. So we're just going to continue doing what we're doing because we don't have much time. This game does have a day and night cycle. During the day, you're pretty much safe to walk around and do what you want to. But at night, monsters will come out, like skeletons and zombies and giant spiders and the worst one in the world, creepers. But we'll get to those. But those things come out during the night, and that's the time that you want to pretty much hole yourself up in whatever shelter you've got, or if you've built a house. You don't want to be wandering around trying to do things during the night. The reason I'm looking around here is because a lot of times on places like this where we have exposed stone, you'll sometimes see minerals like iron and coal exposed, and you can go ahead and get those quickly and easily at the beginning, but I didn't see any, so we're going to go back over here, and I'm just going to collect some more stone. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and hollow us out a little place here, so that when it does become nighttime, we'll have a little place to come back to. But real quick, I'm going to go ahead and make some better tools and make us a weapon. So same way we did before, I'm going to place some sticks here in the center. I'm doing 2 because I'm about to make 2 sets of weapons, 2 sets of tools at the same time. You'll see me tidy up my menu a lot. I'm really anal retentive about where things are in my menu. I like them to be in the same place all the time so I can go straight to them. If you put 3 blocks of stone in the corner there, you'll make an axe, and that'll make chopping wood down a lot faster. We'll put 3 across the top. That gives us a pickaxe, and we'll place 1 stick for a handle and 2 stones, and this is going to make us a stone sword. So we'll have something to kill animals with, to fight. And if you make a box and leave the center empty, you get a stone furnace. Oh, crap, I didn't mean to make 2 of those. But we'll end up needing 2, so it's not a big deal. But we'll put those away for right now. All right, and so, yeah, well, we've got what we need. Let's go ahead and, I'll just go ahead and throw that away because we're not going to be needing any more. I've got a better one. All right, we'll chop that down with the axe and pick it up. That's the cool thing about things like your furnace and your crafting table. You don't have to make a new one each time. You can pretty much just set it down wherever you want, and then when you're done using it, you can pick it up, put it back in your inventory, and go about your business. So I'm going to finish chopping out this little area. That'll give us some more stone to work with when we need it. And like I said, this is going to be a little shelter for us for when the sun starts to go down. And we want to be away from all the monsters and whatnot. Alright. So we'll go over here. And we are going to go ahead and collect some more wood and some other resources and stuff. You want to make sure you have plenty of everything. We're going to kill these couple of cows. That's going to give us some beef. It's also going to give us leather. You don't always get leather, but most of the time you will get beef. Here's another lamb. That'll give us some more wool and some more food. And now we can concentrate on these trees. Now if you notice, see, chopping these trees down is a lot faster with the stone axe. And eventually you'll get resources like iron and other metals and stuff like that. And that will expedite, cutting things down, and doing things even more. So we're going to finish cutting. Got one we can't reach. So what I'll do is I'll just jump and place a block at the same time. And that'll let me get that last piece. And oh yeah, by the way, use your tools for what they're meant for. Like you always want to use a pickaxe for stone and stuff like that. You always want to use a sword for only fighting and killing animals. You want to use an axe for either fighting and chopping down trees, because it will cause your weapons to break, as they do degrade over time. If you look down there, see they have a green health bar. When that runs out, that weapon or item will break and you'll have to craft another. So these don't last forever. But there are ways that we can make them last longer, but we'll get into that later. Now we'll take our wood and we're going to place it up there, and it will give us some more wooden planks, and we're going to save the rest of that wood because we have something else that we need to do with it. Let me get a few more pieces of wood, and I'll show you what we're planning on doing with that. You don't always want to automatically take all of your wooden logs and change them into planks, because there is something else you can do with them. Like I said oh crap. Oh, we got a chicken. Come here, Mr. Chicken. So we got some chicken and a feather, and we got I didn't mean to do that. That was a baby chicken. I didn't mean to hurt the baby. It's generally a bad idea to kill baby animals. For one, because baby animals will never drop anything for you. So there's no use in killing them. And two, it's just kind of evil. Oh, wrong cave. There's a zombie. He's coming out already. I meant to go to our cave. Let's see. Yeah, I think we got away from him. So I'm going to pull out our blocks, and we're going to close ourselves off in this cave. Let me get the stone blocks. Nope. Oh, crap. So we're going to hit him. Let's switch to our sword real quick. Vanquished. We'll pick that up. Those little green balls you saw, if you look down at the menu, well, not the menu, but the inventory now, you'll see that green bar has filled up a little bit, and it has a number 1. We've reached level 1. Those green orbs that we picked up were experience. And like I said, I'll touch on what you do with experience later, but it's always good to get experience. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just straightening out my inventory real quick. I like to keep things tidy. It makes it easier to find stuff when you need it. Let's move this junk around, meow. And we are going to take out our furnace. Well, one of our furnaces. And we're going to place that down. Now, earlier I was looking for like coal and iron and stuff like that. If you can't find coal, we need a fuel source. So what we'll do is we'll place one wooden log and then place the other ones in the top of the menu. And what that's going to allow us to do, hey, ugly. That is going to allow us to create some charcoal. And you can use charcoal as a fuel source to cook food and stuff like that in the beginning. See? Now we've got one lump of charcoal. We'll put that as our fuel source, and we can convert those other wooden logs into more charcoal. Come here, ugly. Let me smack you in the face with this wooden stick. With this stone stick. All right. Now, I went ahead and sped that up just because we were pretty much just staring at the furnace while it finished cooking. But here we've already got we've got some of our charcoal. We'll put that back down here so we can finish converting our stuff, because after we finish converting these other 2 logs into charcoal, we are going to go ahead and cook some food. Now, cooked food is the way to go as far as replenishing your... food doesn't replenish your health. Food only replenishes your hunger meter. When your hunger meter is full, that replenishes your health. So you can eat raw food, but it barely replenishes any of your hunger meter. It does so much more when you cook your food, so it's always a good idea to cook your food before you eat it, because 1, you're pretty much wasting it because it's barely going to fill your hunger meter, but 2, also some raw foods will make your character sick, and that can put you in an even worse situation. So we're going to go ahead and continue to cook food here. I'm going to speed the footage up while we cook through this food. But basically, with your furnace, your fuel goes on the bottom. The thing that you're cooking or processing goes up top. Killed some spiders there. And so now the thing about the furnace is it's not only good for cooking food, there's also some other things you can do, like you can smelt metals, you can convert some other resources into different blocks and stuff that you need, but we'll get into all that stuff later when we come to it. So we'll go ahead and chop that up and pick it up. Now we've just got to wait until daytime. But I remembered that I killed those spiders, and so we're going to hop out here real quick. Spiders, one of the things that they can drop is spider silk, or in this case, they just call it string. But basically, they can drop spider silk that we can use to craft a few different things. We got a zombie here. I'm not going to be able to hit him, and there's no sense in messing with him. He'll go away when the sun comes up. But we'll put down our crafting table, and what we're going to do, I'm going to put a couple of wooden blocks down, and that is going to make us some sticks. I'm going to make I don't know. There's 2 different things we can make in this situation, and I'm trying to decide which one would be the better one to do. I think, yeah, we're going to go ahead and go with what I was getting ready to build anyway. So what we're going to do is take 3 sticks and put them diagonally, okay, let me get that, diagonally through the middle. Then we'll take 2 of our strings and place them there, and that is going to give us a fishing pole. And you don't have to have any bait or anything for the fishing pole. But what that'll do is that'll let us catch fish and stuff like that. Sometimes animals can be hard to come by, or they'll be scarce in an area. But as long as there is a place with water that is more than a few blocks big, you can catch fish, and so that'll make it to where we'll always have something to eat. And so, especially when you're out exploring, it's always a good policy to keep a fishing rod on you, so you don't have to worry about starving. Now our sun has come up, and we're going to go ahead. It's like I said, it's always a good idea to wait until the sun comes up before you go back out exploring. Like you see over there, we've got that big giant spider, but he's not going to come after us because during the day, skeletons and zombies will retreat because they'll catch on fire in the sun. Creepers are less. You'll still see some creepers during the day from time to time, but their population is a lot less. They don't. There's not nearly as many of them. And also, spiders will only attack people usually during the night because they're nocturnal hunters. During the day, they're pretty much docile, and so you can walk up to them and they'll look right at you and they won't try to attack you. We're going to go ahead and collect some more wood. You always want to have... You can barely... It's hard to have too much wood. Unless your inventory is just slammed full of it, you can always probably use some more wood because it is one of the most useful resources in the game. You use it to make sticks, you use it to make charcoal, you use it to make planks. It's used for fencing, it's used for signs, picture frames, ladders. I mean, There's just you use it for making all of your tools. Wood is by far the most not precious resource, but the most useful resource in the game. So I'm going to core this tree real quick and get this last little bit of wood. We're going to walk over here. There's another sheep. Now I'm going to tell you why I've specifically been attacking sheep so far. The reason is sheep typically drop 1 wool block and some food. So one, they're good. It's good for food, but also we're going to take 3 wooden planks and put them across the bottom here, and we can take those 3 white wools that I have and put them across and make us a bed. Now this is going to be super useful. Because instead of having to sit and wait through the night, we can lay down in the bed when it starts to get dark, and we can sleep through the night, which not only will speed up things where we can go back out and adventure, but also it's going to keep monsters from spawning. That way we don't have to deal with them, and so that's definitely going to make things a lot easier. Now, it's tempting to want to go fight all the monsters and stuff, but especially when you're first getting started out, fighting monsters is really, you want to avoid it for the most part, unless you absolutely have to, or unless you need a resource that monster drops, because it's really not going to gain you much of anything in the early game. That's something you'll want to do later on once you're better equipped to handle them and you have armor and things like that. What I'm going to do right quick is I'm going to make a stone shovel, and we do that by putting 2 sticks up the middle and then 1 stone on the top. We'll pick up our crafting table, and I'm going to go and collect some dirt. And while I'm doing that, I'll explain to you the bed situation. Now, it used to be that you could just stay up for days and days and days, and most people didn't, especially advanced players, didn't even really bother using beds unless they were like role-playing or something like that. But another reason to have a bed now is because not very recently, but fairly recently, they added a new creature to the game called the Wraith. And what will happen is if you stay up for so long without sleeping in a bed and sleeping through the night, wraiths will start to fly above you and swoop down and attack you, and they do lots of damage. And so I thought that was a really clever way to get people to use that mechanic. Instead of taking beds out and saying, people don't really use these, or they're not that important, they put a new importance on the use of beds, and basically found a creative way to enforce the use or encourage the use of that game mechanic. And they did it by adding an interesting new creature and stuff, instead of just, putting some kind of hard restriction like, you have to do this. It's more like, you don't have to do it, but we're going to make it tough on you if you don't. And so it made the bed important, an important thing to have, an important commodity again, which I thought was really cool and a neat way to handle that situation. So what we're going to do now, we've collected all that dirt. It's always good to have a lot of dirt on you because it makes a good building material starting out early for impromptu projects, but also it's going to let us do what we're doing now. What I'm doing right now is called pillaring, and that's where you just jump and place blocks under you to raise yourself up, basically like you're building your own elevator. And what this is going to do for us, we're on top of a tree and we're pillaring ourselves up very high, and what we're going to do is look around and get a lay of the land, figure out what's around us, maybe what we want our next move to be, where we want to head to. Now, while you're up here, you definitely want to be careful not to move around too much because you don't want to fall to your death. One thing you can do when you're up really high like this is you can click in the right stick, and that will put you in a crouching position. And while you're crouching, you can't accidentally walk off the edge. You can jump off, so be careful not to hit the jump button. But if you're crouching you won't accidentally just walk off the edge. But I'm looking around here, and it doesn't look like there's too many interesting things going on. I don't know what that thing was there, but mostly it looks like we're just surrounded by forest. There's a little hilly area over here. That mountain there looks like about the most interesting landmark, so I think we might head that way. It's snow-capped. There's probably a frozen biome around there. This area here is swamp. Swamp can be hard to navigate and pretty dangerous. So we're gonna head. Yeah, I think that's where we're gonna head. We're gonna head in that direction. So I've sped up this footage, but basically we're just punching through and recollecting our dirt, and so it's a reusable ladder of sorts. And we also cored down through that tree, so we got more wood to process. So we're going to go ahead and oh yeah, speaking of which, oh crap. Okay, so here is the creeper I was talking about. Basically, creepers are walking proximity mines. You see, he got close to us and then blew up. They usually do a lot of damage. Luckily, we were far enough away to where it didn't do too much damage to us. But this is actual coal, what you're seeing here, instead of charcoal. Whenever you see this, you pretty much want to collect it because it's a great fuel source. The difference between coal and charcoal is coal actually burns longer than charcoal, so you won't use as much coal as you use charcoal. And plus, that'll keep you from having to take all that wood that you gathered and burn it to turn it into charcoal and waste it. You know, it's a better resource, and if you can get it, if you can find it where it's plentiful, then it's definitely better to use it than to use charcoal. Now, one thing we'll be able to do with some of that charcoal that we found, or rather some of that coal that we found, we're going to make another thing. We'll place one stick here and one piece of coal above it. You don't even have to take out your crafting table. And we're going to make some torches. And this is going to allow us to illuminate the places like this dark cave, so we can see what all's in here. Maybe we'll find some more coal. Maybe we'll find another resource. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's a dead end. Now, a monster came out of here, and that's one thing you need to keep in mind. This cave doesn't have to go anywhere to generate monsters. Monsters spawn where it's dark. And so any cave will do, no matter how far or how deep it goes or anything like that. And as we can see here, like I said, another good reason to keep dirt on hand is, we were able to pillar ourselves out of that hole. And we're going to continue to head. See, we got the mountains to our left. We're going to continue to head in that direction and see what we can find. It looks like the sun's getting ready to go down on us. So we are going to pull out our bed here in just a second and go ahead and try to sleep. Alright. So we'll place that down by pulling the left trigger. And then we're going to pull the left trigger to sleep in it. Now, it's not going to let us sleep in the bed until the sun is at least halfway down. So we just have to wait a few seconds. And it looks like it should let us about now. Alright, so we just wait a few seconds, and bada bing, bada boom. The sun's back up, we have slept through the night, and most importantly, we don't have to worry about stupid monsters to deal with. No creepers creeping up on us and blowing us up or anything like that. I'll do a little bit of inventory cleaning up here, and then we'll be about our way. Oh, no, let's put this here. Alright, so let's keep going in this direction. And what is that off in the distance that I see? That is a village. That is another thing we were looking for when we went up to Pillar. This is something you definitely want to look for in the early game especially. That's another reason I did the Pillar thing. Villages are exactly what they sound like. They are NPC populated villages with NPCs that you can buy and barter and trade with. It's going to have some good resources, some things that will be hard for us to get early in the game. And it's just generally an awesome place. We're going to be able to get a lot of cool stuff. You don't have to go through the trouble of building your own house. It'll give you a place to stay, a place, sort of a base of operations for the early game until you get yourself established. So villages are invaluable to early game. And we were lucky enough to have one nearby. And this is one of our villagers, and I'm trying to interact with him, but it's not happening. I don't know what the deal is, but he certainly is weird looking. I haven't seen one of these. I haven't seen that skin before, so that's pretty cool. But so yeah, there's lots of different villagers, and some of them do different trades, and so you can buy and sell different things to them. But yeah. Awesome. I think this is going to be a good place to wrap it up, folks. We've got a densely populated village, and it looks like it's a pretty big one. This is going to be a place for us to find some good resources, and it'll be a good place for me to teach you some new stuff. And so we're going to leave it here, and when we come back next time, we'll cover some more topics, some more do's and don'ts, some more tips and tricks, and we'll definitely go through and take a good look at this village and see what we can find. Until next time, folks, I appreciate you coming by, and hopefully I can make your first time playing Minecraft or your existing Minecraft experience that much more fun, and we'll see you next time, folks. Thank you for watching.